My name is Mason Jones, and I am from Vancouver, Canada. Before, I was really trying random things, trying to get music to work, and not really getting anything done while doing it. It made me upset because I wanted to succeed in music. I wanted to release music. I wanted to create music for people. It was incredibly frustrating when I couldn't get that finished. And I experienced that upset and that frustration for almost 2.5 years while making music. I found out about Best Music Coach through a random YouTube video I found on my homepage. The Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4 video, I believe it was. So my thoughts going through the Creator Guild was, okay, this guy definitely knows what he's talking about, and I feel myself progressing, whereas before I didn't feel any progress. It's just like I felt stuck between a rock and a hard place. But while moving through the guild, I felt like I was making progress down a road that I didn't even know existed. I doubted if it was worth it, and I doubted that maybe I had put my faith into this and it wouldn't work, but that was absolutely untrue. Everything worked out just as I imagined and even better. I had gotten a release out so much faster than I thought I would be able to. Even though I had those doubts and fears, I said, yeah, I'm going to do it anyway because Dan looked credible. I truly wanted to succeed, and this seemed like a wonderful option. I have my first release out, and I am so happy about it. I've gained so much experience from doing this. I've gained insight that I can use for the rest of my life, not just for music. Honestly, I'm just so delighted. Like, I can't think of a better word. Like, everything just to a new high I didn't even know existed. I can put my ideas, which I have now have a better through way of creating, and actually put them from my mind into the DAW and get a release worthy piece out, which I could never do before. I could absolutely do now. I could do it probably in the next 2 weeks if I wanted to. And now, even outside of music, I have so many skills in my toolbox now to complete tasks and get things done, which I didn't really have before. It was just like, oh, this is getting pretty difficult. I should come back and do it later. But now I can push through and see things through to the other side. First off, I'm not frustrated anymore when making music, which had a much better effect on my mood and the mood of others around me. And I am now also able to get tasks for people around me done faster and see it through. And I don't think I'm emphasizing enough that this isn't just for music. And there's so many tools I can use now to just get things done that I couldn't do before. To someone who is super unsure, I'd say push through because you will be so shocked by the person you are on the other side. And I'd say just give it a shot because everything that you create and everything that you will create, even further in the future from where I am right now, is going to blow your mind and blow everything that you used to create out of the water. Community was absolutely the most helpful part with just how everything you're unsure about, you can just send it off to people and they're like, okay, this is awesome, dude. I think that maybe you should try this or try this. And every single thing that you're unsure about or need affirmation for or anything you need from people, you can get from people just who are in the same boat as you and are doing the same exact thing. Second most helpful thing is probably the music theory courses because everything I've tried to understand about music theory, I hadn't really understood. I could understand major scales and how that affects the mood of the piece, but everything in the guild's music theory courses is super easy to understand and so incredibly helpful for the music creation process. About the whole thing, I'd just say if you're unsure, just give it a shot. You're going to enjoy what you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love what you create, and you are going to love yourself if you do it. So, serious low point for me was when I just had a huge block in creativity and absolutely could not come up with anything to start the piece. And I seriously thought, I don't think I will ever get something out there or ever get anything to do with games or even music in general. And that brought me down a lot. Basically, what happened was I was able to use everything that Dan has given me in his toolbox to bring myself back up to a point where I could start creation again. The community had been reaffirming me with everything that I had been creating thus far. And with that, I was able to build up the confidence and get rid of the false perfectionism and everything. And I was just able to put so much time in, get the piece to a release level standard. And it was the most incredible thing because I had never done that before. I had gotten to this low point and I could never dig myself back out of it. But now I could very easily bring myself back up to my highest point yet. The exact moment I decided to flip that switch, like, oh, I am doing this for real. This is a very specific thing. I had a music sketch done and I had dropped it into the already existing project, which had some like bare bones of like chords and drums. And after just shifting some things around, I thought, dude, I would listen to this on a regular basis. And after that point, I'm like, okay, I need to do this for real. And that switch flipped where after I realized, okay, dude, this is something I would actually listen to from a different artist, that's when that changed. So an actual week where I would like get stuff done would be I would finish the seminar and I would immediately start going and I would get some stuff done and then I would get affirmation and feedback from the community and then I would get more stuff done and the more I did, the more I got done. So when I first started my 38 bar sketches where it's kind of a turning point from learning basic music theory to getting a release out. The very first sketch I did ended up being the framework for the release. So after just building everything up, that moment where I realized I would listen to this on a regular basis, that was another big turning point. And then when I got the mastered track back and I'm like, dude, this sounds incredible. That wasn't something I'm listening to on Spotify. I created that. And after hitting publish and I sent it to my best friend and he's like, dude, this sounds dope. And I'm like, okay, this is serious and this has helped me incredibly. And the difference between when I finish my final mix and getting the mastering back from the resource that Dan is providing was just such a turning point. It felt complete. And to that one person who is struggling to get out, to dig yourself out of an imaginary hole that you think you're in, is everything that you've done up to this point was done by you, okay? Nobody else did that. So if you can get up to the point where you are now, you can get yourself out of that imaginary hole and you can complete what you want to do.